Welcome to the Retirement Planning Show, your source for financial strategies to help you retire with confidence. Featuring Chip Coughlin of Retirement Income Analysts in Syracuse, New York. Chip is a registered representative, and securities are offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Stratus Wealth Partners, Ltd. Retirement Income Analysts and Stratus Wealth Partners are separate entities from LPL Financial. And now, here are your co-hosts, Matt Halloran and Chip Coughlin.
Hello and welcome to episode number 19 with Chip Coughlin. Today we're going to talk about 5 facts you didn't know about retirement. Now, there are some important retirement-related facts about Social Security, long-term care, retirement savings, home ownership, and taxes. Now, you've talked about all of these on separate podcasts. I'm really excited about how you're going to bring all of these retirement facts that most people don't know into this one podcast. So, Chip, thanks for being on the show.
Great to be here, Matt.
All right, let's dive in, brother. Let's go right away and just start uncovering what are these 5 facts that people just don't know about retirement.
All right, so this is an article that I saw from Motley Fool, and they say if you want to have the best retirement possible, it's important to take steps to prepare for the things that could affect you the most. And we know that. Here's a close look at these 5. The first one is you'll probably need long-term care, and you'll have to pay for it. And long-term care is here. It's tough to get. They really scrutinize, but if it's available, you should have it. So according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 70% of people who live past the age of 65 will need long-term care. Even if you're married. If you're married, there's a 90% likelihood either you or your spouse will need long-term care. So if you live to retirement age, Matt, the odds are good that you'll end up needing some type of long-term care. Mm-hmm. And without having long-term care, you're opening yourself up to a very, very costly stay in a nursing home. And you don't want to do that. And long-term care is not always covered by health insurance or Medicare. So we want long-term care. We want to increase retirement savings to cover this cost. And, it's important to have. I don't overlook this with my clients. I suggest they have it. Many of them already do when they come to me. But it's something you have to put on your list and you have to check it off.
All right, Chip, I'm going to play devil's advocate here if you don't mind. It's really expensive, isn't it?
It's pretty expensive, but the alternative is even more costly.
Yeah, okay.
And if you believe in statistics, and we live in a statistical world, 70% of adults are going to need some type of long-term care in their lifetime. So long-term care is based on your age. So if you turn 50, it's something you want to think about at that point. Because number one, you're younger. Number two, you're probably more insurable at that point. Mm-hmm. And being younger, the cost is less.
All right, what is the second fact you didn't know about retirement?
Well, Social Security, they're talking about the full retirement age may increase soon. And, the full retirement age, that's the age when you qualify to receive 100% of your Social Security benefits. And it's usually for baby boomers between 66 and 67. I know for me, mine is 66 and 6 months. And it's set to remain in there through 2020. But for a 6-year period, starting in 2021, the full retirement age will be pushed by 2 months up, meaning that it would be 66 and 2 months for those born in 55, 56, and 4 months for those born in 56, and so on. So your full retirement age at that point might be 67 rather than 66. So you got to think about that. You got to plan for that. Because many people wait to the full retirement. Because if you take your Social Security early, they discount the benefit that they're going to send you, number one. And number two, there's an offset to how much you can earn. It's about $17,000 before you start giving up some of your Social Security benefit. So what I'm saying by that is if you make around $17,000, and for every $2 you earn above that, you lose $1 worth of Social Security. So let's summarize. Anyone that's born after 1954 will either have to delay retiring a little longer to get their full benefit or elect to get a smaller check each month if they retire at 66 or sooner. So if you're planning to retire anytime between now and 2027, it's a good idea to make sure you know when your full retirement age is, okay, and what that benefit will be. Again, if you think about the big picture, Social Security was meant to be a supplement, and we've talked before about, 50% of Americans use Social Security as their only means of retirement.
Right.
It's meant to be a supplement, but it's there for everybody. I think the statistic is over 95% of Americans will get Social Security, but you got to be smart about how you do it. And when we talk with clients, we counsel them about when's the best time to take Social Security, what are they planning on, do they need the income, what does their life expectancy look like? All of those factors go into the calculation to determine when's the best time to take it. It's not always taking it at 62. Sometimes it's waiting. And I'll tell you, one of the benefits of waiting is if you wait from your full retirement age, for me that's 66.6, and you wait till age 70, it goes up by 8% a year that's guaranteed.
Wow.
Now that's the government giving you an 8% benefit increase each year by waiting, and that's a pretty good deal. So if you don't need it, if you're still working, you may consider delaying it to age 70, but no longer than age 70.
And you just really teed us up into number 3. And you've talked about this before, and there's been some very startling statistics of how little people have saved for retirement.
Yeah, and we've talked about this on an ongoing basis, but the average retirement savings will generate in America less than $500 per month. So you couple that with Social Security, where 50% of Americans, it's over 50%, it's almost 100% of their income, and their retirement savings is only $500 a month. According to Vanguard, which manages millions of retirement savings accounts, the median balance in defined contribution plans, think 401k, 403b, IRA, simple IRA, and so on, that Vanguard manages for people 55 and over was less than, and that's important, less than $72,000 in 2015. So that's not much. And by context, that would only generate about $240 per month in retirement income. This covers only a small selection of retirement savings, but even a small sample of this is really concerning. So again, if you have a retirement plan, take advantage of it. Minimally put in what we call the minimum maximum. That is the minimum amount you have to put in to get the maximum match from the plan. Start young, keep adding to it over time so that you can have more than $72,000 in that account when you're ready to go off to retirement. Because in the absence of that, okay, all you're going to have is Social Security, and that's not going to lend you a great retirement income or a great retirement lifestyle. So in that scenario, you'll have to keep working. People want to retire.
I want to retire.
Yeah.
But I think looking like it's going to be closer to 70 for people in my generation, which is, as you just said, probably a really good thing, because even though in 2020 it's going to be pushed up until it's 67, even those extra 3 years at 8% over those 3 years, Chip, that's some walking around money.
Yeah, exactly. And when I was younger, I thought Social Security, hey, that's going to be gas for the car. Mm-hmm. But now I'm 60 years old, I look at my benefit and I'm saying, hey, that's pretty good, because the benefit is based on what you earned. So if you didn't earn much, the benefit's not going to be much. But the maximum taxable wage base this year, I think, is $127,000. So if you earned good money, you're going to have a nice benefit. Your spouse will have a good benefit as well. So it's going to be a part of the retirement equation. It can never be the whole equation.
Number 4 of these 5 facts you didn't know about retirement is that you actually have to pay taxes.
Well, that's exactly it, Matt. And that's the craziest thing, because we're still going to have to pay some income taxes even when we're retired. Now think 401k, 403b, IRA, simple IRA. All of those accounts, when you draw money out of them, are taxed as income in the year they're received. Okay, so you're going to have to pay some federal tax on it, and if you live in New York State, you're going to have to pay some state tax on it. And it's regular income. Now, people say, oh, that's not fair, but you got a deduction or a reduction in income tax for putting the money in. It grew tax deferred. That's a good thing. So it's going to be taxable when it comes out. if you have a Roth IRA, and we like Roth IRA because Roth IRA is a tremendous planning vehicle, the Roth IRA, the money you receive from that is typically tax-free, all right, which is a good thing. So we're all going to have to pay some taxes. Now, Social Security, believe it or not, is taxable. And if you have a married filing joint and you have an income over or between $32,000 and $44,000 of MAGI, 50% of your Social Security is going to be taxable.
Hey, wait, Chip, what is MAGI?
Modified Adjusted Gross Income.
All right, thank you.
And if you have an income over $44,000, I'm looking at 2017's guide. If you have an income over $40,000, 85% of your Social Security is going to be taxable. So it's very difficult to escape tax during retirement. That's why I tell my young clients, use some of the Roth programs, either a Roth IRA, a Roth 401k, a Roth 403b. Get a store of tax-free money so that you can do some planning when you retire to keep your tax bracket as low as possible. If you pay less taxes, you have more money in your pocket.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, I knew the first four, but the fifth one was very surprising to me. What is the fifth fact that you don't know about retirement?
Well, the fifth one, it's surprising to a lot of people, is home ownership rates in retirement are trending down, but mortgage debt is increasing. Sounds like they're going in the wrong direction, doesn't it? Over the past decade, the percentage of older Americans who own their own home has fallen. Okay, and according to Harvard University study in 2014, the percentage of Americans aged 50 to 79 who owned a home fell between 2005 and 2013. And it's, that's pretty dramatic. And we're seeing that shift. The biggest percent decline, though, Matt, was in the younger group. Those 50 to 64, it fell from 80% in 2005 to 76% in 2013. So we're seeing this in the younger demographic, but we're also seeing it in the retirees. For whatever reason, the carrying costs on a home, the upkeep on a home, the property and school taxes on a home, they're going to apartments, they're going to assisted living, they have a lot of different living choices now. So home ownership has started to decline in that age demographic. But we're also seeing that the amount of debt that they're carrying seems to be going up. So this is people that bought a house, took a 30-year loan when they were 50 years old, and they're paying it off every month, and yet they're retiring at 65 and they've got 15 years to go on the mortgage.
Yeah, wow.
And we encourage everybody to be as debt-free as possible when you get to retirement, because you don't want a large percentage of your retirement income going to pay debt.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's important. There's a rising number of retirees who don't own a home. They'll face rising housing costs because the rent on an apartment or a condo or assisted living will go up over time, where the cost of your house, if you've paid it off, all you've got is the upkeep in the property and school taxes. So expensive housing is a tough thing. It really is.
And again, I'm sorry, Chip. Hold on a second. What about the whole reverse mortgage thing? Is that taken into account here?
It's really not. They said home equity often provides a critical safety net for many older retirees and can be tapped to use for care later in life. So if you're carrying a mortgage, let's think about that, then the amount you could take out in a reverse mortgage is significantly less. Okay, if you don't own a home, it eliminates the option altogether. But the reverse mortgage, and you've seen those on TV.
Yes.
They get very big actors out there promoting the reverse mortgages. And I don't know if they're a good thing, because then you become a partner with the bank in your home. And when you die, instead of passing that asset on to your heirs, you're going to give it first refusal to the bank.
Gotcha. Okay.
And, it takes that asset off the table. And many times in retirement, other than your 401ks and IRAs and things like that, even together with those, your home might be your greatest asset.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd hate to see someone give it away in the hopes of having a retirement income from a portion of that and not being able to pass that asset on downstream.
Gotcha. Well, that's all 5, Chip. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we do a recap?
I think this is a nice list. The Motley Fool people put this together. I think it makes a heck of a lot of sense. And it all comes down to doing some planning. You need to think and plan well before retirement with some of these options so that you can take advantage of your age and your health. And as it relates to like home mortgages, make sure you've got the low rate, perhaps pay a little extra before you retire so you can own that home outright the day you quit your job, the day you retire from your job. And I think, being debt-free is being bulletproof in this day and age. And, I don't want a percentage of your retirement income to pay down debt. So you got to watch that.
All right, recap those 5 facts you don't know about retirement.
Okay, number 1, you'll probably need long-term care. And I think we have to really consider that. Number 2, the Social Security full retirement age will increase. And, Social Security is, a benefit we're all going to get, but let's manage it correctly and make good decisions there. Number 3, the average retirement savings will generate less than $500 a month. That's from a Vanguard study. Number 4, you'll still pay income taxes in retirement. And that's a sad fact of reality. Taxes are here forever, all right? It doesn't get any cheaper. And number 5, home ownership rates in retirement are trending down, yet mortgage balances seem to be increasing.
All right, Chip, well, thank you for your thought leadership today.
All right, Matt, it's good being with you.
And this was episode 19, 5 Facts You Didn't Know About Retirement with Chip Coughlin. If you have not subscribed to the podcast yet, make sure you take a moment and click that subscribe now button below. That way, every time Chip comes out with a new podcast, it'll show up directly on your listening device. For Chip Coughlin, this is Matt Halloran, and we'll see you on the other side of the mic very soon.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Stratos Wealth Partners, a registered investment advisor. Stratos Wealth Partners and Retirement Income Analysts LLC are separate entities from LPL Financial. Content in this material is for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly.